Howdy, this is Dusty Gibson, owner of Genesis Athletic Performance. For those that I've met, it's good to see you. For those I do not know or have not met yet or had the opportunity, I am the owner. So I figured it was a little easier for me to get a video out to you guys to explain a little bit more about what we're doing today and going forward versus me sending out a mass text. It's a little bit easier for me to explain more thoroughly. You guys get to see me and I can get some more of the finer points out instead of typing everything. So this video will go out as a mass text to all of our athlete parents, and then I will be sending out an email as well. So let's get right to it. So legally, we are allowed by Governor Greg Abbott's orders to open our facility today. Our facility, last 2 weeks, we've been in Aragon Middle School in very small groups. Now we are allowed to open the facility. So the facility address is 20220 Hempstead Road, Suite 12, Houston, Texas 77065. We are right next door to Hunter Prince Baseball Academy on Hempstead Road between Huffmeister and Highway 6. So that is our home, and I hope it's going to be our home for a very long time in the future. Genesis is housed within a larger adult facility. We have about 10,000 square feet, depending on how you count it. The main gym's name is Grindhouse Fitness. That is the adult side of the gym. Genesis Athletic Performance is the athlete side of the gym. So what are some of the things that we are doing in the next several weeks as we reopen our facility to kind of mitigate some of the risk for your children or for your young athletes? So starting with the first one, we have implemented additional cleaning procedures in the gym. Cleaning before sessions, cleaning after sessions, cleaning post equipment use. All the coaches have been instructed, as well as you'll see me, to be cleaning all of our equipment. We have additional sanitation procedures that we've implemented. We've done more gym-wide cleaning procedures. We're cleaning like crazy is basically the answer I can give you guys for that one. It's not perfect, obviously, but we are doing our best job to clean absolutely everything all the time, post use, and to make sure that we are mitigating the risk as much as possible. The second thing is we've added additional session times. So the last 2 weeks, our session times has been Monday through Thursday, 4, 5, and 6 p.m., Fridays at 4 and 5, and then on Saturdays at 10 and 11. Typically during this time of the year, we only have 3 sessions on Monday and Wednesday, and then 2 sessions on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then 1 session on Saturday. So my hope with the additional session times is that the session times split out the athletes a little bit so that it spreads out our sessions and we don't get a whole bunch of athletes crowded into small little sessions. The third one that I have implemented is we've reduced our coach to athlete ratio. So typically at this point of the year, our coach to athlete ratio is 1 coach per 7 athletes or 14 athletes per session. In this new world, I have reduced that session cap to 10 athletes. So 1 coach per 5 athletes. We typically have 1 coach that takes the younger group of kids, which is the 7 to 12-ish age group, and we have 1 coach that trains the older group of kids, which is 12-ish to 17-ish. So I've split that down into 1 to 5. That way that it reduces our session sizes and it helps us practice additional social distancing measures. The fourth thing that we have implemented to try and mitigate some of these risks is that I have instructed our coaches to split up the groups as much as possible. So the younger group versus the older group, you'll see that some of the younger groups sometimes will be on the outside rather than on the turf, whereas the older group may be on the turf, the younger group may be doing their weight training. But we're going to do the best job we can to kind of split up the athletes as much as we can. The one thing I would like to keep parents to keep in mind is that we do have to coach your kids and your athletes. So us social distancing is not going to be perfect. We do have to coach them. We can't just say, hey, go do this, and leave them to their own devices, especially not the younger group. So please bear in mind that we do need to coach your athletes. We will be in somewhat close proximity because we want them to be safe at the same time, but we will do our best to social distance as much as we can, which brings up another point, occupancy. So we have a very large space. Our space is 10,000 plus square feet in the main space, an additional 3,000 square feet in the small space, the side space. So Occupancy is not really an issue for us, so the 25% max occupancy is not going to be a problem. These other measures, though, I just don't want a whole bunch of kids in the same class, on the same turf, all doing things with the adults. So yes, the adults will be in the gym with the kids or the athletes, but we have implemented procedures also with the adult programs as well to try and mitigate some of these risks for everybody. Other items, so recommendations, masks. So I recommend masks. They are not required though in the gym. So like if you want to bring your athletes in, you're more than welcome to wear a mask. I encourage it, but your athlete doesn't have to wear a mask, especially not when they're exercising, because some masks can limit the amount of oxygen that get to in the lungs and to the brain and all that stuff. So it can be a risk while you're exercising. That's one of the reasons why there is no requirement by Governor Greg Abbott to have a mask on while you're exercising. So masks are not a requirement in the gym. However, they are recommended. My coaches will not be wearing a mask at this time because they need to, one, it's very hot in our gym. The coaches will be demonstrating and doing movements and helping the kids out. And so it's kind of the same thing as far as the coach actually being able to coach adequately as well as demonstrating movements and all kind of not working out, but demonstrating and movements and coaching at the same time. So they are not required to wear masks. Parents are not required to wear masks. Members are not required to wear masks. The kids are not required to wear masks. However, I do recommend that people wear masks if they want to or if they feel safer. The other issue was the recommendation for gloves. So our athletes are not required to, or the athletes, the adults, the coaches are not required to wear gloves. In the heat, in our gym, and the way it works is that you would have to change your gloves after every single thing that you touch, which it's unrealistic for us to provide 500 gloves a day for people to constantly change their gloves. Wearing gloves one time and then touching 50 things or pieces of equipment, touching your face where your hands are sweating, it can become an issue also with the latex gloves because people are sweating so much because we're not an air-conditioned facility. It's a safety issue, holding on to the bars, stuff like that, holding on to the equipment. So gloves are not a requirement for your athletes or my adult members or the coaches while they are coaching. So we are doing our best during this time. I'm a parent. I have a 5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And so our 5-year-old, we are waiting for him to he's been trying a whole bunch of different stuff. So at this point, we are waiting for his rock gym. He loves rock climbing. So we are waiting for his rock gym to open up and so he can start climbing again. And I, as a parent, am concerned about what the rock gym is going to be doing. So I felt it was necessary for me to kind of get a video out to you guys. You guys can see me. You can see that we are trying to do our best to navigate some of these issues. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. I don't think anybody has the right answers, but I am cautiously optimistic or excited about us getting back to somewhat normal. I don't think there is a normal of before the pandemic that will be here for a long time to come. So this is a serious situation. I want you guys to know that we are not taking it lightly and that we're doing everything we can to mitigate our risks for your children, for your athletes, for every person that actually walks in the gym. So if you have a comment, a question, a concern, some feedback for me, I am usually there almost every single, unless my 5-year-old has got his stuff going on, I'm usually there every single night of the week when all the athlete classes are there. You'll see me walking around constantly. I know a lot of you guys, you're more than welcome to stop me. You're more than welcome to send me feedback. You're more than welcome to email me. Whatever it is, please come talk to me, and I will listen as a parent and as an owner of a gym, trying to do the best job we can. So I appreciate your time. This will be posted up on YouTube and also sent out as a mass text, and I hope to see all you guys in the gym, and hopefully together we can kind of get back to somewhat normal and training our athletes and helping them get better and elevating their game and also staying safe and healthy at the same time. Thank you guys. See you all in the gym.